Good morning. Good morning, people. Get myself ready here. Today is Tuesday, October 17, 2023, here in Southern Nevada at Pahrump. And let's see, it is 6:03 in the morning. The temperature, good question. What is the temperature today? Right, it's currently 53 degrees. And the high today is going to be 90. Got to keep track of that. All right, so what are we here for? This is our daily podcast. We are here to help you get from where you are to someplace better, from point A to point B, from someday Isle to Successlandia. We do it through this podcast, but it's not really the podcast. It's the stuff down below. And this is a 5-part podcast. We prepare for the podcast. We prepare for the day. We have an attitude of gratitude, review the day before, plan for today, project the day, and then move forward. 3 of those we will do after the podcast is over because it takes a little bit of time and there's no reason to have dead air on here, but who knows, maybe one day we will. So we do step 2, attitude of gratitude, after, where we have time, but I'll talk a little bit about it. We do step 3, review yesterday, after, because that takes time, and then we do our projection after that takes time. So let us start with our breathing exercise, our preparation for the day and for the podcast. So we want to do a breathing exercise. Professor Dr. Andrew Huberman from Stanford University. The goal is to get as much oxygen into our lungs as quickly as possible, fill them up completely so we have more energy, and we also get rid of cortisol and stress. So that's a double inhale and a long, slow exhale. So it's okay. So you should feel that. I kind of felt that in my ears. Have a little bit more energy, less stress. Next, we have our little bit of coffee, just part of our routine. Because what are we trying to do? Develop good habits. What is a habit? Unconscious behavior. We don't even know we do it. Okay, moving on. Attitude of gratitude. This is a 3-step process. 1, write in our books, I'm so happy and grateful now that. I'm so happy and grateful now that. So no matter how bad you feel, no matter how frustrated you are, depressed, guilty you might feel for some behavior you've done or you let other people down, this is having an attitude of gratitude will get you at least facing the right direction so you can move forward in that way, as opposed to continuing down the path of having a thorn in your side and pursuing other things. So step 1, write in your book, I'm so happy and grateful now that. 2, turn it into a question, a problem for your brain to solve. And then 3, turn your thoughts inward and notice all of the things you're happy and grateful for start popping up. Okay? So we'll do that after. Do that after the podcast. I'm so happy and grateful. So you say, what am I so happy and grateful for right now? Take 30 seconds. Close your eyes. Huberman also says if you close your eyes, your awareness becomes internal. Close your eyes and notice the things pop up that you're happy and grateful for. All righty then. Number 2, step 2 is down. Step 3, review the day. Again, ask yourself the question, how do I feel about yesterday? What are my feelings about yesterday? Close your eyes, focus on that voice inside of your head, and then watch as the things pop up. If it's something that's positive, say to yourself, positive, meaning you exceeded expectations, think about what did I learn from that? Another question for your brain to solve, how can I continue to do more of that? Where did I fall short yesterday? And what did I learn from that? How can I avoid that? Boom. Step 3, done, out of the way. Step 4, plan for today. And I'll talk about step 5. I'm going to skip step 4, come back to it, go to step 5. Step 5, project the day. So just like an athlete, before they take the shot, they picture the shot in their brain, and then they just do what they pictured in their brain. So this has to do with motor neurons and mirror neurons, motor control neurons and mirror neurons. Okay, so that's step 5, do that after. So afterwards, step 2, attitude of gratitude. Step 3, review the day. And step 5, project the day, then go do it. All right, so now we're down to step 4, planning. We're going to start heading down a new path in these morning podcasts, one that we hope to incorporate into a new curriculum, which is based upon 2 things. Well, 3 things, but here we're going to focus on 2. 2 things. 1, well, I'll say 3 things. Okay, so 1, the science of happiness. We're going to really focus on Arthur Brooks, Professor Dr. Arthur Brooks from Harvard University, the science of happiness, what it is. Because if everybody learns what the idea is that if you know what happiness is, it's easier to pursue. We do not know what happiness is. How do I know that? Because there's a class at Harvard called The Science of Happiness, taught by Professor Brooks, Dr. Brooks, Arthur Brooks. It's taught by him. It's oversubscribed. We don't know what happiness is. We only know the feeling that we get from happiness. So we're going to focus on the science of happiness and learning how to learn. Because the better we are at learning, the more autodidactic we are, plus the happier we are, the more we can proceed in the best possible way on life's journey. And then the third thing would be that we will focus on here is foundational theology. Foundational theology. Foundational theology. No, it's not in this book. This is the proof of the book, Foundational Theology. The book Foundational Theology is not quite done yet. We keep adding to it, but foundational theology, which is things that all Christians can agree on. Whereas I would tell you most Christians, non-Catholics, most Christians, because as Protestants believe that Catholics are not actually true Christians. They're pagan worshipers, etc., etc. They're not true Christians. So, but Protestants don't really agree amongst themselves. So foundational theology is just focusing on the things that all Christians, including Catholics, can agree on. Nothing controversial, disclaimer, nothing controversial, things that everybody, all Catholics, all Christians would agree upon. So those are the 3 directions we're going to take this now. Science of happiness, learning how to learn, and foundational theology. That's 3 legs of the 3 parts of the 4-part transformational program. So that would be emotional would be science of happiness, our emotions. Learning how to learn is mental part, and foundational theology is spiritual. We're lacking the physical part. Of those 3, if we associated them with the metaphor we have of the boat, it would be The science of happiness, the emotional part, is what's below deck, the place we go to recuperate and recover for safety, for warmth, for cool, for whatever. That's the place we go to recover, convalesce, prepare our food, our meals, etc. The place that's outside of away from the elements. The learning how to learn is the mental part, which is associated with the rudder of the ship that enables us to get to where we want to go, even if it's against the wind or the current. And then 3, the foundational theology. Spiritual has to do with the whole of the ship. That's the thing that enables you to keep going. So you could lose your rudder, you could lose, below deck could get flooded. As long as the whole is intact, you stay afloat, literally. So you can pray that somebody comes along to save you. All right, where are we at for time? We're 11 minutes in. Today's TED Talk in our neuroscience-oriented approach to success. Today's TED Talk is, this is week 2, day 2. This is inside our school-sized kingdom. How does our brain work? The idea is if we know how our brain works, we can better choose we can better have a better outcome to our day, because we get that all of our feelings are created by the release of neurotransmitters, which are released based upon beliefs. So, and then our behavior is impacted by the neurotransmitters we release. And so normally it's our thoughts affect our behavior, which affects the outcome. Okay, we're going to go deeper. We're going to say our beliefs, our thoughts, trigger the release of neurotransmitters, which affects our feelings, which affects our behavior, which affects the outcome, and that reinforces the belief. So if we start with a belief and we associate it with the release of neurotransmitters, so if I smoke, so the belief is smoking is bad. Smoking is bad. It causes cancer. So if I have that belief and that triggers the release of a chemical that makes me not want to smoke, my behavior is I won't smoke, I'll feel better, and that will reinforce my belief. That's how it works. Okay, so day 2 in that. Now we're at 13 minutes in. So we're going to finish with, you want to get from point A to point B. Act such that yesterday was the only easy day. Embrace the suck. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Focus on, helping someone else, meaning and purpose. Act such that everything you do matters, and service to others. Try to put if you're pursuing pleasure, hedonic adaptation will kick in. You'll get a little bit of pleasure for a little while. It's going to go away. Then you're going to look for more pleasure and more pleasure and more pleasure. And it's going to be a constant cycle. If you get a little bit of pleasure, then it goes down. A little bit of pleasure goes down a little bit. Versus happiness, which has to do with enjoyment, not pleasure. Different parts of the brain. So if you focus on enjoyment and satisfaction, and then meaning and purpose. But that's Arthur Brooks. More on that. There's a great TED Talk, a great video down below, a 9-minute video from Arthur Brooks summarizing the science of happiness that he did about a week ago. And in happiness, we have PragerU, 7 quick lessons about happiness. And we're going to start focusing on that now. So we're going to have a shift away from more mental to happiness, learning how to learn, and foundational theology. So with that, I'm going to say and cut. Get ready for the day. So So go out there, make something happen. For everyone else watching, please do step 2, attitude of gratitude, review your day, plan and project for yesterday.